preparing things for an everyday dinner or a weekend breakfast, you might want to know how to set a table. For casual events, one needs just a basic table setting, a placemat, a dinner plate, utensils, a napkin, and lastly, a water glass. Marilyn Vos Savant once said, "Be able to set a table so that you feel like you are dining, not just sitting and eating." I personally think that Marilyn knew what she was talking about when she said this. Knowing how to set a table is an essential characteristic to acquire. Ever since I was a young girl, I have known how to set a table. I also work at a country club where I often have to set tables. These tables include even more things that I'm not showing today, like centerpieces and tablecloth, and having to do every seat at a table as well. I will demonstrate in a 6-step process how to set a table, starting off with setting down the placemat, then putting down the dinner plate in the center of the placemat, then putting the napkin to the left of the dinner plate and placing the fork on top, then to the right of the placemat, putting down the knife, and then putting down the spoon to the right of the knife, and lastly, putting the water glass slightly above the plate in between it and the utensils. The first step in the 6-step process of learning how to set a table is to set down the placemat. Placemats come in all shapes and sizes. The placemat I will be using today is this circle one. This placemat, as you can see, is only slightly bigger than the average plate, so we will have to make sure that the placemat that the plate is right in the center of the placemat. Some table settings are different than others. Some have an assortment of plates, some only have one. Similar to the placemat, plates can come in different shapes and sizes. I will be using this big glass white plate today. As stated prior, make sure to place it on the center of the placemat just like this. When you're placing down the napkin, make sure it is to the left of the plate. You can do an assortment of different things to this napkin, whether that is folding it all fancy like this and placing the utensils inside, or just laying it simple and flat like this to the left of it. And today we'll be laying it down flat like this. First utensil that you lay down is the fork. The fork goes directly on top of the napkin. Make sure that it is in the center of your napkin. Then, to the right of the plate, you place down your knife. Your knife goes closest to the plate, making sure that the blade is pointing in. When you're finished with that, you place the spoon to the right of the knife. When you're finished laying down your utensils, you have to make sure that the bottom of the utensils are equal to the bottom of the plate. When you're placing down the water glass, make sure that it is slightly above the plate, making sure that the water glass is between it and the utensils. Now that you have your table all set, you are able to put your food on your plate and enjoy the tasty meal that you have been waiting for. When you are finished setting the table, you can then sit down to enjoy your meal. Making sure to have proper etiquette is an essential when you are dining this nice. Make sure to put the napkin on your lap and to never speak with your mouth full. When setting the table, it is essential to know all of the steps. First, you get the placemat, then you set down the dinner plate, you put down the napkin, and you place down the utensils and put down the water glass. Knowing how to set a table is important because if ever in the future you choose to have a dinner party, then you would want to know how to set a table, and that's good hospitality.